What's up, guys? It's your boy ChasmRift here, and today we got the Press Start Podcast week number 14 with your boy Big A.
Yeah, guys, can you believe it? Already 14 weeks.
Yeah, that's actually we're close to week 1/3 of the year we've been doing this, if we do math. Huh?
Yeah, plus the weeks that we skipped. So yeah, it's quite a long time. But
Yeah.
anyways, you want to take over the first topic?
Yeah, the first topic is actually an article from Polygon, but you can kind of find this article pretty much anywhere else. And the Gamestop CEO quits after 3 months on the job.
Yeah, I'm not gonna believe the CEO's name is or was, I guess you could say, Michael K. Mahler, and he says he's leaving for personal reasons, effective immediately.
Quote unquote.
Yeah, that's some bullshit, bro. That's
I mean,
fucking.
like, oh man, this ain't helping out.
Personal reasons, aka personally, I think GameStop is fucked.
Yeah, no, that is on the money right there. Usually if a CEO or someone who's high up in a company leaves, they'll usually say something that doesn't look bad. Like they'll say, "Oh, my someone in my family is sick and I want to spend time with them," or "I'm far away from my family all the time working. I just want to spend time with them." You know, things that sounds respectable and doesn't turn off investors. But he said personal reasons. It's like, what the hell, man? What the hell does that mean?
Yeah, he was just letting you guys know. All right, you know what? Last dude said he was leaving because of health issues. We know that's some bullshit. So
I mean,
I'm gonna straight up say I'm leaving for personal reasons.
Everyone who talked about this article, because this came out like the day we recorded our podcast episode or the day afterwards. But everybody who reported on this, they were all like, "Bro, this ain't looking good." Especially since GameStop's stock actually plummeted quite a bit after the news of their CEO like dropping after 3 months. It was so bad to the point where the original founder of GameStop has to step in to be CEO temporarily, even though he just retired recently, quote unquote, as GameStop owner.
Yeah, that got me curious. So Di Matteo is his name.
Yeah.
And he's now gonna serve as interim CEO.
Yeah.
And the fucking messed up part about this is he also served as interim CEO when the last guy left when he said he was sick. And so I was like, damn, GameStop must be going through some really bad shit. And so the first thing I found is what you just said about the stock plummeting recently. And then back in 2016, following the fourth quarter, the fucking stocks dipped, bro. And
They did.
That has to have some correlation with the last guy leaving.
Oh yeah, whenever someone leaves from a company, a lot of investors will pull out. But the last guy, when he like left for health reasons and Di Matteo stepped in as interim CEO, I kind of understand that because it takes time to put someone up in that position. But Michael, the guy who just left 3 months after 3 months on the job, the reason he became CEO is because so many people and higher up at corporate at GameStop has left out recently. So he just moved up the corporate ladder, and they're like, "Hey, we need a CEO. You want to do the job?" And he's like, "Hell yeah!" And this dude's been with GameStop for a long time, over a decade. So he already knew the ropes of the job. It wasn't like he left because the work was overwhelming. He just left because he said, "Nope," like you said earlier, I got to get out of here.
Well, if we can learn anything from this article, guys, don't forget to pull out.
Bruh. Well, I'll tell you this. Their stock right now is $12.46 USD. That is today. If we were to go back 5 days ago, their stock was at around $13. And if we go back a month ago, their stock was, yeah, their stock did drop.
It fell.
Yeah, it fell a month ago. You're right. A year ago, they were at $22. So that's almost half their stock.
2016, they're like double that or some shit.
Yeah, 5 years ago, their stock was at a peak of $55 during 2014. So, man, their stock just plummeting it. Like, I might have to take a screenshot and show this on the video, but like, there's no steep climb up. This is really bad.
Keep in mind, guys, the first plummet down, that's when the first guy left. And then this one right now, that's when the second guy left. They are so fucked.
I mean, this is like what we talked about earlier, about like how GameStop's model and how they're kind of scummy with it. There's something definitely going behind the scenes to make someone just leave after 3 months. If you're a CEO for any company, you're kind of set. I gotta be honest, like, especially if it's a company that's taken over the nation. So to leave like this was really bad. I read in another article. I don't know if it's the if I read in another article because I read like three versions of this article. They said that he left out with no severance package or any like benefits.
Oh my god, that's not good.
Yeah, so this guy really must have had something to force him out of here. I don't know if someone bribed him out of there. I don't know if someone got dirt on him and he had to leave. I don't know if he hates GameStop that much. But yeah, he left out with no accommodations for it.
Hey man, you know what? He left. Whatever. There's a million reasons why it could have happened. But I mean, this is what GameStop gets. I bring the fucking cure to cancer over there, and all they give me is $2.47, bro.
I mean, I wish we were able to get Brown Juan on here. He was talking about his story on the Discord we have. You guys should definitely check the link down below if you haven't checked the Discord yet. And he was talking about how a GameStop employee wouldn't sell him the Sea of Thieves Xbox One S that he wanted, and he ended up getting the PUBG one because the guy didn't want to go in the back to get in the goddamn console. Like, you can't have people doing that in stores. Like, we're all paying customers. We demand respect.
Yeah, bro. I swear, if people like us were to run that store, we'd be fucking making the stocks go up.
We would. I don't know exactly how well we would do behind the scenes in a corporation, but we as the gamers understand what people want versus what people are getting. You know, like EA recently said that they don't want single player games because they found that gamers don't want that. That is bullshit. We love single player games.
Yeah, you know how it is with these big companies.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
Yeah, I'm just move on to the next one.
Yeah, the next article right here. This is actually one that's near and dear to me. Recently, Pokemon just had a website trademark domain be released in Japan, and the domain is for Pokemon game called Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. And based on what is said on Cerebi and other articles that are out there in the interwebs, people, this is a game that seems to be taking place in Kanto or just some form of elements of Gen 1. And it's also going to have implications with Pokemon Go. And it's going to be on the Nintendo Switch. All three of those things, you never thought you'd hear them all in the same sentence for the same game. But yet it's all implemented together. Big A, as someone who doesn't like Pokemon Go, as someone who wants a Switch, as someone who recently got back into Pokemon, I don't know if you ever played Gen 1, but how do you feel about all of this coming in together for the alleged rumor that's going on right now?
I mean, it's still a rumor, like you said, but two of those three things I like. I like Kanto. I definitely, want to get a Switch, but I hope they don't screw it up by implementing Pokemon Go aspects.
I mean, the thing is about the Pokemon Go aspects is, I think if they do it properly, it can be fine. I just don't know how they can combine Pokemon Go into this. Because, like, people are asking, like, wait, can you, like, transfer Pokemon from one game to the other? If that's the case, it'll take away from the aspects of playing Pokemon Go, which is like, oh shit, I need to grind up candies to get me a Tyranitar. Now, if you can play this Pokemon game on the Switch and you can just catch a Tyranitar and transfer it to Go, it's like, okay, I don't have to go outside ever again. Or vice versa, where it's like, okay, I just started out in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, and I transferred all my powerful legendaries from Go into this game. It doesn't make much sense. And to top it all off, nobody knows what's going on. Like, the Pokemon Go YouTubers don't know how to explain this, and the PokeTubers, they don't know how to explain how any of this will work out. So this is a weird state.
I don't blame them. This is like a completely new concept, even after Go. Like, we just have to wait and see what they're going to do with it.
I mean, yeah, like, Junichi Masuda did come out one day, it was around 2016, where he said that he would love to have a game that is very similar to Go, or take elements from Go with a Pokemon game. With the Nintendo Switch, it is in a weird status, because unlike the previous handheld main series games we had, we were kind of limited to what the hardware would do. Like, we couldn't play like a first-person Pixelmon-X type of Pokemon game on the 3DS. But with the Nintendo Switch, it is possible for them to have an open-world game, kind of like XD and Coliseum were for the GameCube. I kind of hope that they know what they're doing. And this could actually be referenced to the question of the day if you want to get into it.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, man. This all ties in. What do you guys think? So what is your ideal Pokemon game? And hopefully, when this comes out, I hope I like it. I hope everyone else likes it.
This is a callback to Gen 1. And by the way, everybody on Twitter, when they first heard the news from Cerebi and Joe Merrick, the guy who runs Cerebi, I just gotta say one thing to you guys. Fuck you. You guys are complaining about everything. Y'all complaining about Pokemon Stars not being a thing. Y'all complaining about no Pokemon game coming out this year from what we heard recently. Y'all complaining about how we need a Gen 4 remake, but whenever we get news of a new game, y'all complain. Y'all hear about a Gen 1 remake and y'all hating it because y'all don't want to go back to Kanto. Like, what the fuck do y'all want? Like, seriously.
I have to agree with you there, man. Kanto is the OG.
I know.
And we have all this new stuff going on. Why wouldn't you like it, bro? It's that's the whole point of Pokemon. New generations bring new things, and now when we're trying to make Nintendo is trying to make a new idea. You guys like Go. Clearly, everyone likes the Switch, and Kanto's OG as fuck. So what's the big idea?
I know, and I gotta correct you about the Nintendo thing. Nintendo just publishes it, as in they provide the cartridges, but Game Freak's the one who makes it. But that's a little thing. But you're absolutely right there. Like, everybody's been bitching about a Nintendo Switch Pokemon game since last year. It was so bad that at E3 they had to announce that they will be working on a game because of the backlash of the Pokemon Direct last year. And now we're getting news of this game, and people are like, I don't want it because this is catering to the Gen 1ers. No one likes Kanto. It's the worst generation. It's like, wait, you guys all started Pokemon because of the success of Gen 1. You can't hate it when we're going back to Gen 1 because everybody played Fire Red and Leaf Green. Don't lie to me. Everybody played that game. They all know it. Or they played Ruby and Sapphire. So,
and not just that, but not only the other people that have played for a long time and are haters, but you got all these new generations, like a whole bunch of them playing Pokemon. And do you really think they're going to give a fuck? Everyone likes Pokemon just because of the game.
yeah.
Who's going to go look at the fucking details?
I absolutely agree with you. Like you said, there's new generations, like whether both with the game and the elements and things happening there. Some people are for it, some people are against the new elements. But at the same time, we got new people coming in, like 7-8-year-olds who are just starting out playing Pokemon. Some of them may not know how to use an emulator. Some of them may not buy $10 for the Gen 1 and Gen 2 games in the eShop. If they give us a Nintendo Switch, like, Kanto game, not only that means the little kids can actually play the games that we used to play, whether it's a remastering or just a callback to Gen 1. I'm all for it. Because, like, I got my nieces and nephews. I want them to play Pokemon when they grow up. And if I get them to Gen 1 in such a cool way that they can actually relate to, then I'm all for it. That means Pokemon will continue in my family. So, that's my take on it.
Yeah, man. And aside from the bantering, I just hope we change somebody's mind out there because, like, I don't get it.
I don't either. The community is so ungrateful and entitled that it breaks my heart. But this is my ideal Pokemon game. Hopefully, if there's anybody out there who's still hating on these ideas, I hope they hear me out. You play GTA 5, right, Big A?
That's right.
Okay, you're probably gonna know where I'm coming with this. What if for Nintendo Switch, because you can dock it and undock it, if you have the game docked, you can have a first-person 3D adventure for Pokemon, and when it's undocked, you can go back to the 2D elements like we got on our 3DSs. That's what I want out of a Pokemon game, where you can actually play as if it's like Pixelmon, or like the 3D games we've been seeing lately, and when you undock it, you got your fresh new Pokemon experience that we're all known for the past 2 decades. What's your take on that?
That's a very unique idea, man. I wish I could express my opinions about it right here, right now, but I just can't wait until it comes out.
I mean, I agree there. Also, for if they do it like Breath of the Wild, I mean, not exact. People want a Breath of the Wild Pokemon game. I don't understand why. But if they do it where we can have a 3D world and we can actually travel a 3D adventure, I hope they take those elements out there. Like, you can physically see the Pokemon and like interact with them. Like, if you do shiny hunting, you can actually see Pokemon in the wild. If you see a Pokemon that's shiny out there, you could possibly walk up to it and then, encounter it instead of, encountering a bunch of Caterpie all the time. I mean, there's so much they could do with the Switch version of it, and I just wish the community would give the Pokemon Company and Game Freak a chance to actually present something.
All right. Next topic is from Variety.com. It's about.
We're gonna work on your transitions.
Yeah, I know. I mean, there's not really a good way to transition from that, except speaking about games that aren't coming out.
I mean, there's ways
Uh,
you could transition from there. Like speaking of giving companies a chance to present something, E3 is on the horizon, and a very popular game and by a very popular company has been in the works lately. And we've been told from Gearbox that Borderlands 3 will not be at E3. Is that better?
yeah, you can do that. I was just trying to be funny, but whatever. Fuck you too.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. All right. Yeah, like you just said, Gearbox says no Borderlands at E3. Yet Walmart Canada seemingly leaked a bunch of titles, like we just said, Borderlands 3, Gears of War 5,
Mm-hmm.
Just Cause 4,
Mm-hmm.
Rage 2, and Lego DC Villains. And then probably, Gearbox told them to Walmart the titles are all removed from online.
Yeah, that's probably just a big issue there because like we see Amazon leaks happen before. I think we actually reported on some in the past, but after that list, some of them are actually true because like Rage 2 is actually revealed to be true because the developers of Rage like trolled the community, and then they finally made a trailer for it after the whole leak. But Gears of War 5 and Tom Clancy's Division 2, those are games I'm actually looking forward to if those are real by the Walmart website. As for Borderlands 3, I'm fine without another Borderlands for another year. We both play Borderlands 2. It's a fun game, but I can wait.
Yeah, me too. I've only played so much, so you know what? It'll be fine.
Yeah.
But like they said, Gearbox is still working on it. The second one was such a smash hit. I don't see them not releasing a third one. So I mean,
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
people can wait. People can definitely wait.
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's a interesting quote that was on here. One guy, Todd Ribbons, a magician, said that. He said, "When I make something vanish, which is a magic trick and fake, people will swear that it is real. But when I eat a light bulb, which is not magic and is real, people will swear that it is fake, a trick." Like we were just talking about with the Pokemon community, and this applies to pretty much any community out there, guys. What is being summarized here is whenever there's like a little bit of details given out there, and it seems very unlikely if you think about it, people go out the way to speculate. YouTubers make clickbait content about it, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, this is true." But whenever there's some real information out there, no one talks about it, or people just shrug it off to the side. A la the Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu leak that just came out. How do you feel about a quote like this, man? Because I think this hits it on the nail.
Yeah, I mean, this speaks to what we've been saying for so long.
Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, there's a big community who wants Borderlands 3. I understand because they've been kind of Skyriming the Borderlands series by releasing like mini versions of it. You got Borderlands the pre-sequel. You got Tales of the Borderlands that just came out. They're basically treating it like it's Kingdom Hearts right now, but I mean, it takes time to develop a good game. You can't get a good game in a year. So, water under the bridge in my eyes.
I agree.
Oh yeah, one more thing. EA, Bethesda, Microsoft, Nintendo, and Sony are going to be hosting events at E3. That's what they said at the very end of this article. So, E3 is going to be fun, everybody. We got 3 weeks.
Yeah, except you're gonna have to pay another $90 to enter.
Only if it's EA.
Yep.
Oh well, I mean, it's whatever. It's the state of gaming right now. But are you going to get the Division 2 if it does come out?
No.
Damn. I mean, I thought you'd be that type of guy who's trying to play the Division.
Nah, I'm not. I'm not that type of gamer. But you want to talk about the more exciting news coming out October 12th?
Hell yeah.
Black Ops 4. Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
And then Treyarch at an event at Los Angeles said, pretty much confirmed that there will not be a campaign, but they did confirm a battle royale mode called Blackout. What do you think about this, man?
I shared my sentiments with you on Friday, so yesterday, as a recording, that I'm actually excited for this because details they gave at the reveal for this, I actually watched it on the live stream, is that this will actually be a really big open world map for the battle royale mode. And the thing is, they're gonna be taking elements from previous maps of the previous first three Black Ops series games. So, example, like Nuketown is a fan favorite map. They may have a Nuketown at the center of the battle royale map. We may see firing range. You may see the map hijacked, and all these other maps. And then characters from the campaign and multiplayer and zombies, they could be used as art characters throughout the battle royale modes. And they also said that you can battle people while using land, air, and sea vehicles, kind of like PUBG and H1Z1, where you can drive around. I mean, I don't know about PUBG, but H1Z1. So it looks like this battle royale mode is gonna have a little bit of everything in it, and I am hyped for it. What are your thoughts?
Man, like you said when we were talking on Friday, we were hating on it for the right reasons. But as you've seen in the reveal trailer, that sure looked real cool.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't show any info for it. I think they're gonna wait till like August or September just to build up hype. I kind of hope they don't have a beta for it, because the moment people play the beta, they get a feel for the maps. When they do release it to the entire world, those select few people, in theory, may know where the best place to go to for this game mode, assuming there's going to be like items to pick up and kill people with, instead of falling down with your own loadout.
Yeah, man. But they did say they were gonna have like certain types of characters, so maybe that applies to Battle
I mean,
Royale too.
that's the certain type of characters was what I was talking about. The characters from like zombies in the campaign are going to be the characters we could play as. So if you ever played the Black Ops 1 campaign, one of the most famous characters in there is Hudson and Woods. Those are like some of your allies in the game. And then there's Victor Reznov, who's also appeared in World at War along with Black Ops 1 and 2. He will also be one of the characters we could play as, or the Zombies crew. And I like that. Assuming they don't add in cosmetics and crazy things like that, I think we'll just be fine being able to play as our favorite characters, assuming there's full customization there.
Yeah, besides those added changes, they have a whole lot more, man.
Mm-hmm.
They got the health bar where you actually don't regenerate, you have to heal yourself.
Hell yeah.
Which is pretty cool. I'm behind that.
At first, I was a little iffy about it, but I thought about it. I was like, wait, that means I don't have to hide behind a crate for 3 seconds now. I can just manually heal myself.
Yeah, no, that's why I was definitely behind it, because think about it. In like a war zone type of scenario, especially because they do not have thrusting or wall jumping anymore, it's way more tactical.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I made notes about all the changes they made over here. Like you said, for the game, they're actually making major changes. For starters, it won't be 6v6 COD anymore. It's going to be 5-on-5, which is very similar to League ranked competitive play. Like teams are usually in 4s or 5s with competitive COD, if you ever watched the COD events. So they're going to be having that. The maps are going to be catered to these type of game modes. So they're going to be tiny, slightly smaller maps. It's going to be more fast-paced action going on, which I'm all for. League play / ranked play for COD is actually going to be more so in the lines of Black Ops 2, which was the fan favorite for everybody who played ranked COD. There's a lot that's going on here. Like you said, you can manually heal yourself, and recoil on guns aren't randomized anymore. It's actually going to be consistent across every gun. So if you're playing with an SMG and you switch to an assault rifle, you got the same recoil between both guns, instead of one gun being wild and the other gun being consistent.
Yes.
I am all for that, man. And now you go for it.
Oh, my bad. I was just going to say that I was kind of bummed about no campaign. It's my first Black Ops game, or it's going to be my first one, and I really wanted to play it. But I don't know if you noticed, but they're actually going to weave some narrative in each of the modes. So that's real cool.
Oh, yeah. Like, that's what they've been doing recently. Like, Black Ops, like World at War and Black Ops 1, for example, their zombies mode didn't really have a story. I mean, Black Ops 1, with every DLC, it was kind of leading up to the finale of Black Ops 1. But Black Ops 2, that's when they started adding narrative in there. And then when Jason Blundell took over as the lead director for zombies, we got nothing but storyline thrown in for Black Ops 3. For this one, on the other hand, yeah, it seems like it's going to be that case. Do I know what they mean by narrative and multiplayer? Not really. Now, if they mean like you can do special assignments and accolades in multiplayer, and then it like trigger a sequence outside of it, that could be cool. Be similar to what we could do with the headquarters at World War II. So I don't know. I'm all for it though.
Yeah, man, that's pretty much it for this article.
Oh, wait.
The last one's pretty short. You want to take it?
Not all the way done here. we forgot to talk about zombies. With zombies mode, we're actually gonna be getting 3 maps at the start of launch. Well, at least 2 of them for sure. One of them is called 9, which is basically you and 3 other people are going to be like in a gladiator like arena, kind of like the Coliseum, and you're gonna be fighting off with zombies while you're using like gladiator-esque weapons. There is Voyage of Despair, which takes place on the Titanic, and you guys are again gonna be fighting zombies on there. It's gonna be a new storyline for that. And they are remastering Mob of the Dead. Yes, I am a big ass fan of Mob of the Dead. It's one of my favorite maps from Black Ops 2, and I am all for remastering with our old crew being in it. Fuck yeah. Okay, I'm done fanboying.
Well, yeah, it does sound cool.
Yeah.
Last topic's real short if you want to take it.
Yeah, this is an article by Edicnix. I mean, I hope I pronounced it right. E-Technics. Okay.
Yep.
Capcom recently had an update to Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, and in this update, they actually removed Denuvo from the game. And for those who know what Denuvo is, it's the anti-piracy software that is used in Marvel vs. Capcom. And it is so weird because through the PC and Xbox One versions of the game, it created gigabytes of space needed for the update. Meanwhile, for the PlayStation 4, a couple hundred megabytes, which is so weird to think about. But besides just the size of the update, the Nuvo was taken out because it seems like they don't care about anti-piracy on the PC version of MVCI, and because of it, it actually created performance improvements for people. The games are loading in faster, things are happening at a faster rate, getting to character selections slightly faster. So, what is your take on the performance buff that's happened from anti-piracy taken out of this game?
Yeah, literally before we started recording, I was like, okay, that's weird. Don't you not want people to pirate the game? And you mentioned to me it's like already been here for a while, and it's not worth the slow loading times and slow speeds. And I get it. Yeah, I don't see other games following suit though.
Yeah, like that was weird when they said they'll happen in this article, but if any game did that, I think it'll be a company that's cutting corners, kind of like an indie company, if anything. Because Denuvo is like a licensing. Like if you guys get McAfee or Norton or any of these other software add-ons to your computer to protect you, you pay a subscription to keep it on there. And while they're running in the background, it can actually cause performance issues for you. It's like, let's say you run the game on your PC and you got Norton running in the background. Your performance may be hindered a little bit, or you got a lower resolution because your RAM is also being taken up by Norton as it works in the background. That's kind of what's happening here with Denuvo. You pay money for it, it hurted the performance, but every year or every couple years they gotta renew it, and if they don't renew it, then their game is exposed. So I guess if you're an indie company, you would get rid of Denuvo, but I mean, if you already spent so much money on the game, I think it should a few $1,000s to keep it. What is your take on that?
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to get too much revenue from it going on, I guess, because you said it's already $30 now. But yeah,
I mean,
it's going to help them though.
I mean, like, people are hoping that this means that they're putting more investment into the game, because the people who play MVCI, there hasn't been any word from Capcom about the game since January. They've been dead silent about it. Meanwhile, Dragon Ball FighterZ and other games are taking over the fighting scene right now. And people are hoping that this means that they're paying more attention to the game and that there's going to be a Season 2 worth of DLC for it. Because MVCI is a hot mess compared to Marvel vs. Capcom 3. In terms of everything that's going on with the update patch, it kind of brings up this whole topic of like anti-piracy, which I think is a really interesting thing. We all know what piracy is. And I don't mean Sea of Thieves unless you pirated that game. But piracy in its own craft is like we talked about in the car once actually. It's about morality. Like, what do you think is right versus what do you think is wrong? Do you think piracy is okay in some situations?
Oh man, that's a toughie. I'd have to justify it if the game is old as hell.
I mean, I agree there, right there. Like, there's been this issue right now where like Nintendo actually bought out the rights to emulators like Visual Boy Advance and things like that. and they're trying to DMCA like take down like emulator ROMs and great things like that, and they also DMCA like fan made games and shit, which we talked about when we were getting food once actually. Um, when you see stuff like,
Yeah, man. Sorry to cut you off, but I was super excited to play those fan made ones. That was bogus.
I mean, like I was excited to play some of them like Pokemon Prism because it was actually like playing Pokemon in Gen 2, but you have the updated Pokemon in there, so like the Gen 2 graphics but with current Pokemon in there. But like yeah, you see in companies, they DMCA some things, or they try to say like yeah, you can't use this, and this. But the argument is, for example, I own Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green, like the actual cartridges. Like let's say I just lost my Leaf Green, which I didn't lose, but I want to play it still. People are arguing that like, well, if I owned the game in the past, I could go get an emulator and just play the game I already purchased before. Do you think that's perfectly reasonable, or do you think that piracy in that form is wrong?
Oh yeah, I've definitely heard that argument before, and I'm all for it. And then I guess the other one, the reason I said, if the game is old, let's say you're a new fan, you're one of the new generations. It's kind of hard to get your hand on. So yeah, I justify it.
I mean, yeah, like try to go to the store and buy a Nintendo 64 and then try to buy Smash Bros for it, or try to buy Smash Bros Melee or XD and Coliseum. Like yeah, good luck trying to find those on the market at a reasonable price. Like if it's from a souvenir shop or like a gaming shop, you're not gonna get a good deal out of it. They're gonna probably scam you for the price because there's not that many left on the market. So I understand if some people pirate old games that are like at least 10 years old. I get why you would pirate it, but if you were to like try to pirate, I don't know, GTA 5 or pirate Overwatch, it'd be like, for me personally, I say, bruh, that's not cool at all because it costs a lot of money to make that game.
And yeah, no, that's not cool at all. I agree. And plus, imagine all the hypothetical problems you could cause yourself by downloading new games and pirating them.
Yeah, like it's it's a weird area. Like
It's not worth it, man. It's not worth it.
I mean, I feel like if you're pirating a game, odds are you know what you're doing, and you're not going to like a shady website that's gonna have a virus or get you doxxed for pirating in the game. But if the developers were to find out you got a illegal copy of a game, then yeah, good luck trying to beat them out in court. But
Yeah, that's true. And by the way, guys, check out the link below. I got my own partying website. It's called definitely not gonna dox2.org. And yeah, all your favorite games are right there.
god damn it, but god damn it, I can't believe you just said that. But it's such a weird area because we were talking about this. I mean, I was talking with this with Brown One when we were playing Fortnite about like pirating in other forms of media. Like for example, when Dragon Ball Super, when we used to watch that shit, I can't lie, we used to watch it on streams, or we used to like watch it on shady websites. It's dude, I've turned a new leaf. I've been using Verve lately, and this video is totally sponsored by Verve. Get your free anime and access through Verve.com, which is partnered by Crunchyroll and Funimation, and you get access to free anime. All you gotta do is watch a couple ads, or you can pay $10 a month and get Verve Premium and no ads at all. No, this video isn't sponsored by Verve, but Verve, if you're watching, I love you guys. But
Yeah, but guys, still check out definitely not gonna dox you.org.
boy, but no, like anime for example, pirate. I know people who pirate anime, and some of them will have to go to websites that say, yeah, you got to do a 3-step verification because this website has been taken down multiple times. You gotta jump through a million different hoops. You gotta uninstall a program so that you can run this program and risk hurting your computer just so they could watch free anime. Do you think pirating it can go too far, or do you think people are just way too lazy to like do things the legitimate way?
Not only laziness, but also like subscriptions that need to be paid. Some people can't do that.
Yeah, I can't.
I myself, I just find it way faster and way easier to use the website that I use to watch Dragon Ball, and it doesn't seem shady to me at all. I've like showed it to friends, and it like works pretty good every time. But yeah, I
I
don't.
mean, I don't think it's more of like an issue of like if the website's shady. It's like if you went on a website to do something that's wrong and your computer got fucked by it, no one's gonna look at you and be like, "Oh man, I feel so bad for you." They're gonna be like, "Bruh, you did something wrong and you paid the price. It's called karma." I mean, my whole take with that question I asked you was going out your way to pirate is like you said, subscriptions. Like I know people can't afford Hulu or Crunchyroll because that's dollars per month that comes out their wallets, along with other shit they might want to buy. Like if you want to get Twitch, so you got Amazon Prime, that's $100 a year right there. If you get Crunchyroll, that's like what $3 or $4 a year, I believe, or $5, I think they said. Like if you got Hulu, like that shit adds up, especially like Netflix and shit. But like you said, you're right. It's convenient. It's fast to go on a website, but there are also free options out there. Like I said, I use Verve now. Like the day the anime comes out, like the Funimation dub for Super that's out right now on Toonami, the day that comes out, it goes on Verve that same day. So, seeing that there actually is free outlets out there, why do people still pirate when they could get shit for free the legitimate way?
Yeah, that's true. So I guess it just depends on the person.
I mean, yeah, it does. Like for the next part of this, I got something I want to share, but I personally hate pirating when it comes to anime because I've read interviews about the process of being an animator, not in just Japan but just around the world. Like Japan, for example, there's been tons of suicides within the animator community because the work is stressful. They're working 80 hours a week, which is double what we work here in America, 40 hours a week. They're actually working below the poverty line. Like a lot of them make less than $1,000 or $1,200 a month, which is below the Japan poverty line. Some of them are living with their parents. A lot of them make like $300 a month. And when it comes to deadlines, like trying to make Dragon Ball Super look beautiful, Sword Art Online look beautiful, that takes a lot of time, man. It's not as easy as penciling in on a piece of paper. And when I hear that shit, I feel bad trying to pirate a website just so I could watch Dragon Ball Super for free.
Yeah, that's true. And the way I feel about it, man, it's an asshole thing to say, but what is my $5 every how much gonna they're not it's not gonna get them out of the poverty line.
No, it's not about that. It's like, well, the number of people that have subscription to like Crunchyroll and whatnot versus the number of people who watch anime. Like, there's a major gap between it. Like, the anime industry recently actually hit record highs in the revenue last year. But the thing is, like, because the websites are being pirated right now, like, yeah, if you're buying a DVD or something, they're getting money from it, or if you buy merchandise, the companies that produce this shows are getting the money, not the actual animators. So, like, whenever we pirating a show, it means that the revenue that should be going to the studio isn't going to the studio. That's how they get their main form of revenue. Like, whenever we're buying a Dragon Ball t-shirt, it goes to the promoters of the show, not the actual animators. So pirating of the show is actually hurting their wallets.
Damn, well, I guess I encourage people that if you can do it, go and support them.
I mean, yeah, it's just the way of life. Like, I don't know if you watch Attack on Titan, but you've heard of it, I assume.
Yeah, definitely. I don't watch it though.
Yeah, the thing about Attack on Titan is it has such a big community, and the issue with the show was it's been, after season 1 ended, it was years, and I mean years, before they brought out season 2. And the reason why people were mad about this, I mean, the reason why people were mad about this, but the reason why this is happening is because animation schools and studios are shutting down in Japan because it's not feasible to make these shows. And to make a show as beautiful as Attack on Titan, you're going to need all hands on deck. You get hundreds of people, even. And if the money isn't there or the workers aren't there, then it's going to take even longer for us to get shows. Like, right now, we're having withdrawals from Dragon Ball Super. Like, Dragon Ball Heroes is coming out with its own anime soon, which is going to be cool. But Dragon Ball Super right now, it's going to be 9 months before we can see it again, bare minimum, because we're waiting for this movie to come out. If there's way more people who could be an animator, this movie could probably be made within a few months, and then Dragon Ball Super come back, I don't know, early fall. But that's not going to happen because of what's going on in Japan. It's like, do you see the tumbling effect that's happening through piracy?
Yeah, and I was just about to say, as Dragon Ball fans, we see this firsthand. It was like super sad because at first we thought it was, goodbye forever. But then even after learning, it's gonna take a quote unquote brief, but like 10 months gap, it's still upsetting.
Yeah, I mean, like there's other forms of piracy out there. Like,
I wonder if they had less people to work on it, if it would be. Has it gone that far?
I mean, like we seen like in the animations and like on social media, people complain about like how Dragon Ball Super looks weird, or like a person who did Goku's hair one episode looks completely different in his hair the next episode. Like, yeah, that happens because one person who worked on Goku that scene is switched out by another person, and that's all artist interpretation. But the actual like process, like it takes a whole team to make an animation like episode. It takes months. It takes about 2 months on average for a show to be like an episode for insert show name to be made. And if you have 100 people to make that show, you can be fine. But let's say the workload is now doubled and you only got 35 people to work. Yeah, try meeting those deadlines without people trying to kill themselves.
Yeah, man, that's fucked up. People are literally committing suicide because of this.
That's what
Well,
I
I
mean.
guess what a great note to
No, we're not about to
end
end on
this
here. How do you feel about piracy of music?
piracy of music.
I know all you kids use Spotify. You even told me you got Spotify.
Yeah, but I pay a subscription.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like, a lot of people actually don't pirate music, which is interesting.
Oh,
Um,
I just do it because the ads and all that, and for the same reason, oddly enough, it's convenient.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like, people are willing to pay $3 a month for Spotify, and like, don't get me wrong. I think that's great that you guys are doing that because you're not stealing music, you're not doing things illegally with it. But I gotta be honest. I pirate my music. Um, and the reason I do this is because I don't want to be bothered with Spotify ads or SoundCloud. I don't want to pay money for Spotify. And the way I see it as, like you said, like earlier, like what's your $5 going to do for an animator below the poverty line? The way I see it as, an artist makes most of their money off of tours and shit. So if they're making more of their money off of a tour instead of like an album sale, like what's going to hurt them if I just download the song off of YouTube and have it on my phone forever instead of using Spotify to stream it, which can go out if you're in a terrible area.
Yeah, man. I mean, you're completely right about that. It's the same reasons, and I for the different things.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. It's like everybody in some form of fashion pirate.
Yeah,
Unless you got hundreds of dollars in your bank account, everybody's pirating. I know people who watch movies bootleg or they watch it on a shady website instead of going out to see the Avengers Infinity War for all its glory.
yeah,
Like
that's true.
like the whole piracy thing right now is it's so weird. If someone's not pirating music, they're pirating movies. If someone's not pirating movies or music, they're pirating anime. If someone's not pirating all three of them, they're probably pirating something else.
That's true, man. I mean, it's a big argument to make, and I don't know. I'm just sticking with the convenience sake.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like that's the whole like gist of it. Piracy is it's all about convenience or saving money or both. And I think everybody could justify why they pirate, and at the same time they can't justify the morality behind it.
Yeah, that's true, bro. I have nothing left to say on the
Me
topic.
neither. Like
I
I mean,
agree.
those are good discussion though. Like piracy takes over the world. Like let's be honest.
It has, and it's not our fault. I have to say, sorry for the people that are negatively affected, but there's not much people can do.
I mean, for anybody out there who does their form of art, um, if shows were to stop prematurely more like animations, I mean, we gotta wait 3 years for shows to come down. You know what? I wouldn't be mad because if I'm in their shoes, let me be honest. Like you guys, an instance of when y'all heard about how I worked at a country club and how y'all don't think it's right to be disrespected by rich people because they're rich. Um,
And
yeah,
let's be clear, it's definitely white people.
I mean, there's rich people of all demographics at a country club, but like, yeah, like you said there, like if I wanted to quit because I was being disrespected there, you guys would say that's justified. Now, if I was an animator and I was living below the poverty line, and I just know that people in the West are just watching the show for free willy nilly, and I decided I'll quit for those reasons, I don't think anybody would be mad at me for that. And I think I'm gonna feel the same way if artists stop making music like that South Park episode once, or TV shows are stopped made at mass production. I will understand completely why.
Yeah, man. Well, what an interesting episode.
Yeah.
Piracy, racism, and a bunch of
Boy.
games.
I mean, yeah, you can sum that up, right? But I guess that's it, y'all. We actually hit the 40-minute quota. So, um,
Barely.
actually, it's almost 50 minutes. But
Barely.
yeah, thank you guys for watching this. If you made it to this end, I actually want to hear you guys' opinion on piracy. Like, you don't have to give out all your information and like why you pirate certain things, but I just want to hear you guys' take on it. Like, is it all wrong? Is some of it justified, etc.? And if you guys are new here, be sure to leave a like down below in the subscription. Follow my Twitter and Twitch links are down below. And the Discord server. We would love to have you guys there. Anything else you want to say, Big A?
Yeah, check out definitely not gonna dox you.org.
And fuck the Pokemon community for always complaining about a game. Um, anyway, guys, I guess we're out of here. The gates full are open and they're totally not pirated, and I'm gonna go close them. So bye.
EA 9.99 thought.
Okay, I probably would pirate an EA game.
Yeah.
I got that in the recording.